This is the Amex Trifecta, one of the best credit card setups in the industry, and it is time for me to say goodbye. But does this mean that I'm done with American Express forever? Not necessarily. Stick around to the end of the video and you'll be able to see how all this will come together. But in the meantime, let's now discuss my top 5 reasons why the Amex Trifecta is dead to me. Reason number 1 is what I call credit overwhelm. For those of you who've been in the credit card game for some time, you know exactly what I'm talking about. For those of you who don't, well, here's a little taste for you. With just the Amex Platinum Card alone, you've got a $200 hotel credit, a $240 digital entertainment credit, a $155 Walmart Plus credit, $200 of Uber Cash, which is kind of like a credit, a $200 airline fee credit, a Shop Sats with Platinum credit, that one's about $100 there, another $300 for Equinox, that one's actually kind of like two blended together. There's Equinox and SoulCycle Bites, both of which get you $300, so count that one as 2. Also, $189 for a Clear Plus membership, and we can't forget the Global Entry and TSA PreCheck credit. That's 9 or 10 different credits that you have to keep track of, depending on how you count them, with a single card. And of course, keeping track of them is not so easy, not even close. Check this out. Here's your overall scheduling, so to speak, of your credits. Several of these are monthly. One is every 4.5 years. You also have semi-annual basis, annual basis, and of course some more annual credits as well. So not only do you have to keep track of all these for what they are, but also when during the year they renew and when they expire, because these credits do not roll over. So for example, if you don't use your Saks Fifth Avenue credit in the first half of the year, you don't get double in the second half. The Amex Gold Card has its own credits, although they are much easier to navigate. It has a $120 dining credit and another for $120 of Uber Cash. And fortunately, the Blue Business Plus does not have any credits to keep track of at this time, but who knows what Amex may do in the future. And I don't know about you all, but I like to use my credit cards and the rewards. I don't really like to work hard to remember to use my credit cards in the right way all the time, just to be able to justify having them in my wallet. Reason number 2 is the sky-high annual fees. It's hard to believe I'm actually saying this, but we are now living in the times of a $695 annual fee for a credit card. The Gold Card follows in second place with a $250 annual fee, and fortunately at this time, the annual fee on the Blue Business Plus is still $0. So let's check out those totals. If we take the $695 from the Platinum, the $250 from the Gold, and the 0 from the Blue Business Plus, we arrive at $945 in annual fees. And is that something that's possible to justify in the first place? Well, definitely. I mean, if you look at American Express's website, they even show you here that you can get over $1,500 in platinum value for wherever you happen to be going next. But always remember what you're buying into here and what you're paying for. If you're not regularly working out at Equinox or taking Uber or going to Saks Fifth Avenue, remember, those are the credits that you're basically buying at a discount. So if you're not using them as part of your regular everyday life, you're still buying things that you would not normally use. So yes, you can see it as you're saving money from the retail value, but in the end, again, if you don't use them, you're really just spending money and wasting money. Let's move on to reason number 3. I'm not using the number 1 redemption method, at least not right now. And what is that number 1 redemption method? Without question, it is Amex's transfer partners, particularly in a long-haul international flight in a premium cabin. And right now, I'm not flying internationally, I'm not flying long-haul anywhere, not even domestically, and I'm also not flying in business or first class. Now, if you happen to do any of those, especially all 3 for the travel trifecta, so to speak here, then that is the best possible way to really maximize the value of your points. And that's where you hear so many people like me and other bloggers say 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cents per point or even more. So what am I doing instead, and why even earn any Amex points if I'm not using them in their best possible way? Well, currently I'm using the Invest with Rewards feature on the Schwab version of the Platinum Card. This one actually gives me a value of 1.1 cents per point when I cash the points out for basically cash back into my eligible Schwab brokerage account. So yeah, I'm getting 1.1 cents per point, which compared to those elevated travel values on your strategically built itineraries is pretty awful. But compared to standard cashback as a statement credit, which Amex gives you by default on all of their membership rewards point earning cards, it's only 0.6 cents per point. So 0.6 compared to 1.1. That's almost double the value there. So for cashback's sake, I'm doing great. The fourth reason for me abandoning the Amex Trifecta is that I can get a higher percent return with other cards. Let's make a game out of this. Up here at the top, I've put several common spend categories that a lot of people use in their daily lives. For example, groceries, gas, dining, and online. So for just using the Amex Trifecta here, bringing in those Amex cards, we would pretty much be focusing on the Gold Card and the Blue Business Plus, because the Platinum Card really has no use other than for flights and for prepaid hotels. Anything outside of those two categories, you're just earning 1 point per dollar. So with these two here, we bring in the percent return that I can expect to get in each of these four categories. And again, here, I'm using the value of 1.1 cent per point for my cash out rates through Schwab. You may value Amex points differently for your use case, especially if you're focusing on the travel game right now, and that's totally fair. But for me, I need to evaluate this based on how I actually use the points in the real world currently. This approach gives me a 4.4% return for both groceries and dining, as well as 2.2% on gas and online. And frankly, these rewards rates are fantastic. However, it's possible to do better without much extra work. We just bring in a few additional cards from other issuers to make it happen. As I film this video in Q1 of 2024, the Chase Freedom Flex card is getting 5% back on groceries. The City Custom Cash can earn 5% in a variety of different categories. Provided I use it for gas, I can earn 5% there. The Discover It Cashback credit card is also earning 5% back on dining in this quarter. And for online, I've got a couple of cards here. The Amex Blue Cash Everyday gets 3% back on US online retailers, and then the Amazon Prime Visa at 5% there. Pretty eye-opening when you see it laid out in this fashion here. With all those additional cards, they pretty much destroy whatever Amex can get me in the cashback game. Now, of course, I do need at least 4 different cards versus just the 2 from Amex. So the convenience factor of just having 2 cards managed in one dashboard with Amex versus multiple logins and multiple accounts with other issuers, you do have to take that into effect as well. The more cards you get, typically the less convenient your life becomes. However, you gotta, of course, find that balance that works best for you. That said, if you look at the annual fees of this multi-card setup, it is actually $0 all the way through, even if you use all 5 of them. And perhaps just as important here, going back to my first reason of the video of credit overwhelm, these cards have 0 credits to manage in order to make sense of using them. I will, of course, mention here that the Blue Cash Everyday does offer a couple of credits, one with the Disney bundle and the other with Home Chef. Neither of those have any use to me, but I am going to mention them here in the video because some of you might find them valuable. Regardless, the card still has a $0 annual fee, so by not using them, it's still not costing me anything. And my fifth and final reason here is that I earn Amex points via Rakuten. If you're unfamiliar with Rakuten, it's basically an online shopping portal that allows you to earn additional cash back on top of whatever rewards you get with your credit card. I've been using it for a number of years, absolutely love it, and you probably see this screen at the end of pretty much every video that I make here on the channel, advertising that you can get an extra bonus when you sign up for a new account. The really cool thing though for a lot of people is that rather than earning straight cash back, you can change your rewards preference to earn Amex membership rewards points because they have a partnership with Amex. You just go into your account settings and then switch the payment method that you want to do. It could be the big fat check in the mail, PayPal, or there at the top, American Express membership rewards points. To give you a little sample of this, here's a screenshot from my dashboard showing the points that I've earned on purchases. I've done Saks Fifth Avenue, Nordstrom, Converse, another one with Saks and Under Armour, and the points there on the far right-hand side of the screen. So adding them all up, that's over 1,700 points right there, which is great from a few purchases. None of them were super extravagant by any means. And then I also earn additional points here from bonuses by being a part of their influencer affiliate program, and of course by my referrals too. So all of those get converted to points. Now it's time to answer the big question. Since I will no longer be using the Amex Trifecta as my default setup, will I be canceling it? The answer is no. Whenever I or anybody else says that I'm a user of the Chase Trifecta or the Amex Trifecta or whatever Trifecta, to me what that means is that you use that as the bulk for all of your spend. It's your primary core setup, and the vast vast majority of every dollar you spend goes through that. You may still use some supplementary or other cards for tangential use cases, maybe an occasional hotel stay or whatever, but I'd say a lot of your spend goes through that one 3-card setup. For many years, I was a user of the Chase Trifecta, and that lasted for, I don't know what it was, 4 or 5 years. Then I moved on to the Amex Trifecta for a number of years as well, and now I'm pretty much cutting ties with both of those, at least for now. And if you're wondering what the heck will I be doing going forward instead, make sure you subscribe to this channel if you haven't already done so, because I do plan to make another video about my strategy going forward, which might be a strategy video, or I might just do it in the form of a what's in my wallet video. Until then, I will still be using Amex cards strategically as kind of one-off situations as part of my new main setup, which I will reveal. So I do plan to use Amex cards individually for flights. In this case, that will be for the Amex Platinum card because 5 points per dollar on those flights is extremely valuable. And Amex is still one of the few issuers with their top tier premium cards that allows you to earn at a high rate without using the Amex portal. Chase, for example, requires using the Ultimate Rewards portal to max out the earnings on the Sapphire Reserve. The Citi card also is offering elevated points when you use its portal, although that is for rental cars and hotels. And the Capital One Venture X also requires the use of its portal to get elevated returns on your travel spend too. I also plan to use Amex cards for hotel stays, specifically my Marriott card and my Hilton card. I currently have the Bonvoy Brilliant card, which earns 6 points per dollar in Marriott properties. And although 6 Marriott points per dollar is not amazing on its own, I view it as a much broader context. So it's 6x from the card, then 10 base points per dollar for being a part of their program, and then the 50% bonus for being a Platinum Elite. So all that added together is 21 points per dollar for my paid stays. I view that as about a 14.7% return, which is pretty great. I also value these 3 specific perks quite a bit. The Free Night Award up to an 85,000 point value, the default of Marriott Bonvoy Platinum Elite status without having to complete any spend or stay requirements, and the 25 Elite Night credits every year. On the Hilton side, I have their business credit card, which earns 12 points per dollar on the paid stays there. Again, I view it as a broader context. 12x from the card, 10x for the base points, and then an 80% bonus on the base points for being a Gold Elite member. The 80% there is equal to another 8 points per dollar. So 12 plus 10 plus 8 is 30 points per dollar as an overall package. That to me is about a 15% return, which again deserves 2 thumbs up. On the benefit side, I also value that complimentary Hilton Honors Gold status. Again, no stay or spend requirements to get that. And also the Free Night Rewards. You can earn up to 2 of these based on how much you spend. I go for the first one, which is $15,000 for the entire year. And that certificate is super valuable because there's no restriction on how much the property is or any category or point value. So you can use it at a Hampton Inn or a Waldorf Astoria, which may cost $800 or more per night. The choice is yours. Furthermore, I still plan to use Amex cards for business expenses. That is my Blue Business Plus card. This earns double points on all of those purchases up to $50,000 per calendar year. I spend less than that, so all my spend qualifies for 2x. Lastly here, I'll still use Amex cards for referrals, and that can be any of the cards that I have. To give you a taste here of this, the Business Gold Card, if I refer somebody to that, I would earn the 20,000 points or whatever the offer is at that moment in time, because these offers can change. And then my referee would get their welcome offer, whether it's the current public one, which is $70,000 at the moment, or it could be elevated. If they do a promotion for $100,000, $150,000 or more, they'll get whatever it is for them. And there you have it, my top 5 reasons for why the Amex Trifecta is dead to me from a main core setup, but why I will still be using select Amex cards strategically to cover certain spend categories or for other specific purposes as part of a broader strategy. With all that said, if you enjoyed today's video and believe it could benefit other people, then please help me get it in front of them by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and turning on those notifications. Also check out the links down below in the description area to earn some more cash back when when you shop online through Rakuten. Remember, you can also switch your settings to earn Amex points instead if you prefer. And to view my site with some great credit card offers that I've organized into different categories to help you find the cards that you like best. And be sure to check out the community tab of this channel where I post a lot about offers, updates, and news. And may I just say there are some great offers expiring very, very soon, so you'll want to check those out before they're gone. I hope today's video brought you some great value and things to think about as you craft your own credit card strategy and whether Amex is right for you or not. By the way, as you're working on your own strategies, if you want some guidance on how to pretty much set it up for success, watch this other video, in case you missed it, about how to create the ultimate card strategy for you. I'll see you there.